My name is Stephanie Carlson. John Fluevog is a world-renowned designer of shoes with a flagship store and design headquarters in Gastown and outlets in major North American cities. His shoes have received international acclaim and can often be seen being worn by celebrities. John Fluevog currently has a major exhibition at the Museum of Vancouver running until September 26th, which celebrates 40 years of his designs and entrepreneurship. Mr. John Fluevog.
I'm thankful and humbled to be here. Thank you, Sam, for inviting me. As I began to think about community, I realized how much a business is an influence on community. So I'm going to share with you how my business has affected community over the years, and I'd like to speak to the idea that we as individuals do and change culture far greater and have a far greater influence on altering community than we think. So it's us as individuals who do it most effectively, not the government, not committees, and not someone else's responsibility. It's ours. We all need to take ownership. So this is me at age 9. My dad was an entrepreneur. He started a 50s-style ice cream drive-in called the Luxury Freeze on Kingsway next to the South Burnaby High School. As I reflected on his life, I realized that he was part of the 50s culture and brought community together. Yes, he was part of hot rods and ducktail haircuts, but he was also part of people's lives. He was a mentor to many of the high school kids, giving them their first jobs. He brought them into community, and he also gave them solid values. These people are still in our community today, so are their kids, and now their kids. My father made and created community just by being himself. So next slide, thank you. As I started out my business, I began to throw myself out there. On the screen, you'll see some of the catalogs I created. You may notice I dressed up in costume. I don't know if you can see that. But I simply threw myself out there. Some of the titles are Guide to Sin, Cooking Up Soul Food, Taking Soul Time, Communist Manifesto, The News. It's a catalog about peace. They're all full of shoes, of course. But the thing to note is they're also about good and bad. They tell stories that reflect morality, not preaching, just simple right and wrong. Like comic strips that make you think about your own behavior, the stories were my stories. These catalogs formed the start of a larger Fluevog community, and I'm now going to give you examples of how that community made people want to be involved in a brand. So it'll be the next slide, thank you. So open source. When we started our website in 1998, it gave us the opportunity to include more people. The web, unlike most brick and mortar retailers, has been our friend. We started a section called open source where people could submit their shoe drawings and submit them. They did. From all over the world, hundreds of them, thousands of them. People wanted to be part of the brand and part of our community. We do make a few of the open source designs up every year. We name shoes after the person who sent it in the design and link their websites if they have one. They also get a free pair. Not a bad thing to wear shoes that you designed and have one named after you. I should also mention that a good number of the open source shoes have been really good sellers, and we have repeated on them for more than one season. So it's fun for us as a company to say, hey, you know what, one of you guys designed this shoe. So people do want to be part of our community. So the next one is flu shots. Well, anyway, I'll carry on here. Hopefully get that right. It's called Flu Shots. So this is part of the web that I like the most. It gave people the facility to be part of our community again, and hundreds of people sent their pictures in. There you can see them. And these pictures, you can see community. It's with their friends, it's in their homes, it's times of celebration, it's weddings, pictures of the Great Wall of China with Fluevogs, pets, kids, travel. It's awesome, the community that the company has around it. So the next slide is Fluevog Creative. There it is, thank you. We gave people the opportunity to be part of our community by adding to the culture and designing ads for us. They did. Submissions came in again from all over North America, and actually, I can say the world, and all of these actually all over the world. They were all judged online. I had nothing to do with it. There's lots of voting, and I have to say it did take me a bit of time to come around to the idea of having someone else create my ads. I do have an ego. But it seems to be working, and those ads and the feelings in them could not have been created by an agency or even myself. We, of course, do social media. This does not touch our website. People are now sharing their lives with other Fluevogs, all facilitated by our brand, but not sanctioned by us. It's a free-for-all, and it's great. It's not so great when we have quality issues, but we work through very hard about sending out product that does not work. It spreads even more than the good stuff, so it keeps us on our toes. And our retail stores, of course, are a focal point for community, and I really believe that retail stores do that in all the cities that we're in. I'd like to think of them as an alternative home for people, and that our stores reflect the value of our customers, and special events at Fluevog and Fluevog functions are well attended when we have them. So slide 6 should be the museum. Hello, thank you. The Museum of Vancouver is currently having an exhibition called Fox, Fluevog, and Friends. So it's a retrospective from 1970 to 2000 on our shoes and how our small company was part of the Vancouver community. Peter Fox was my partner from 1970 to 1980. We hired Ken Rice when he was a West Coast hippie, selling belts and bags in the bars in Vancouver. He started making shoes with us and gave us the shoes, and gave us shoes that had a West Coast feel that was popular in the 70s in Vancouver. And it was me who kept the retail side going, and I was a part of a lot of people's youth in those 3 decades. And although my market has recently broadened to a wider age group, it's also noteworthy in the last 20 years that this Vancouver company has had an influence not only in Vancouver, but internationally as well, all from Vancouver. So that's a snapshot of how I, as one person, changed a bit of culture and increased community through my job and career. I believe that we can all each change culture and create community. Whether we like it or not, we do create it. If we succumb to road rage, we'll make our communities angrier. If we are racist, we will divide our communities. If we are dishonest, we as a society lose trust. Look at Bernie Madoff, who made off with all our money, and I don't think anybody thinks quite the same about the stock market as we used to. It changes things. But if we say encouraging things, small things, to the grocery clerk, we change her. She in turn changes the next person that comes along. We change our society. In short, it was just like me the kid from Burnaby with that little sign who began to throw himself out there. I had no idea I would have influence from Iceland to Australia. Each one of us has a responsibility and can influence and change our surroundings. We can all make this world a better place to live in. My business is not about me. I hope I've shown it's about giving like-minded people the structure and form to move society towards a better place to live in. Thank you.